There's gonna be some talking shit, homie. Go fucking.
Did Jake Paul's mansion just get raided by the FBI? We'll tell you what.
Bro, we're on it, dude.
Hello?
Jesus. Oh, bro. Come on, dude.
Logan Paul's world just imploded. Anthony Joshua hit Jake Paul with a lawsuit, and Logan is completely devastated. The legal documents are official now, and Logan can't hide from what's happening. Joshua isn't playing games anymore, formally accusing Jake of messing with his car brakes and causing that horrific accident. The Paul brothers circus act just became a courtroom nightmare.
Yeah, at one point I was a light for him.
The Paul brothers are drowning in federal chaos right now. Jake's connection to that car wreck has blown up from simple YouTube beef into a full FBI case. Nobody saw this coming, and fans are trying to figure out if this was just stupid pranks gone wrong or something way darker. Every boxing insider is glued to this story as both Paul brothers get crushed under legal pressure. Anthony Joshua stayed quiet for way too long, but now he's speaking up with hints that the Paul brothers definitely had something to do with his crash. Those weren't just random thoughts he was sharing. He was pointing fingers. Then boom, AJ drops the lawsuit on Jake Paul officially, turning internet nonsense into a massive legal war.
Because at different stages of your life, you're allowed to evolve.
Jake Paul hunting for attorneys is the most pathetic thing we've ever seen. This guy went from challenging Hall of Famers to cowering behind legal teams. YouTube tough guy turned into courtroom weakling overnight. The whole internet is dying laughing at how this played out. Same dude who bragged about being fearless is now buried in legal documents, while Anthony Joshua's lawsuit has him running scared.
I could never do what he did. Yeah. Most people in the world could never do what he did, but he's got him.
Tyson Fury's measured response makes Jake Paul's mess look even worse. Fury talks about respect and doing right, while the Paul brothers are getting destroyed by federal agents over their suspected involvement in that car wreck. Everyone's minds are blown. Simple internet content just became an international disaster.
Your enemies, they are your brothers and sisters under God. We all came from Adam and Eve. In the beginning, everybody on earth. Remember that.
Logan Paul's panic damage control shows how bad things got after Jake's arrest sent shockwaves everywhere. Everyone's watching their online kingdom fall apart under serious legal heat. People are starting to question everything about these supposedly bulletproof internet celebrities. The Pauls are getting hit with actual consequences now, and Logan looks terrified while this FBI situation destroys everything they built.
Don't say a word, but yeah, I checked in on him. He's fine. He physically, again, it's a bit of a headache. We're figuring it out, and this story.
Eddie Hearn nailed it perfectly. Jake Paul's moves weren't accidents. They were calculated. His arrest and this whole investigation proved what the boxing scene already suspected. Internet drama became worldwide news. The Paul brothers are getting embarrassed, legally destroyed, and publicly torn apart worse than ever.
What was it, about an hour ago? So I guess everything's calmed down a little bit. I thought it was a bitch move, if I'm honest, because anytime an attack like that is like premeditated.
Gar Miller's shock reflects what everyone in boxing is feeling right now. Anthony Joshua almost died in that crash, and it wasn't some random accident. People are whispering that Jake Paul went way too far. Fans and industry people are horrified thinking about how close AJ came to not making it. What used to be excitement about a Paul Joshua match now feels like the setup for legal and ethical disaster. Everyone close to AJ is clearly messed up mentally, and the world is trying to understand how Jake's stupidity mixed with this crash turned YouTube showing off into life-threatening reality. More people suspect Paul than ever before.
You don't know what other people are going through. And even though AJ, we're not on the best terms, man, I feel for this brother, man. Because it could have been my family, could have been my friends. And, I feel like, man, it's mentally kind of draining looking at this stuff all day on the line. And like I said, I didn't really see nothing too graphic until this morning. Now I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in my life, man. I've seen dead bodies before and all that.
Gareth Davies reports carefully, but you can feel the tension underneath everything. Jake Paul's suspected role puts a dark cloud over the whole story. What began as hyped boxing between AJ and Jake turned into complete horror with deaths, investigations, and blame. Fans are putting pieces together, wondering if Jake's history of being reckless became something much more evil. Anthony Joshua living through it only makes people more suspicious and angry. Official statements stay careful, but everyone's already making up their minds. Jake Paul's stunts aren't harmless entertainment anymore. They create real deadly situations.
What happened, obviously it's a tragic incident. 2 people have lost their lives. It's a horrific moment. I thought the reporting of it yesterday, I've read and obviously got in contact with his management team straight away. I thought the reporting of it was responsible.
The difference is absolutely insane. Anthony Joshua went from destroying Jake Paul, making huge money and getting praised by everyone, to nearly dying in a terrible car accident. The timing is terrifying and makes people look sideways at Jake Paul, whose dangerous behavior is getting examined in completely new ways. Fans are connecting the story of their fight, massive money involved, and now this almost deadly situation. Everyone went from loving the fight to being furious and scared as questions pile up about whether Jake's past actions or carelessness caused this. AJ living feels like a miracle, but people still have doubts.
And it's so crazy to think that over a week and a half ago he was on top of the world. Apparently he'd pocketed $92 million from his Jake Paul fight. The American audience was in love with him. His star was bigger than ever. And then just yesterday we see footage like this of AJ being pulled from the wreckage in a situation where if he'd just sat on the other side of the car, they wouldn't have been pulling him out.
Liam Gao's words show how serious this really is. Anthony Joshua made it out alive, but 2 people died, and the Paul brothers' influence hangs over everything that happened. What started as a major fight turned into legal and moral disaster, with Jake Paul being investigated for what he allegedly did. Fans are disgusted, asking how a YouTube fighter's dangerous behavior could connect to real tragedy. The story changed from sports entertainment to criminal investigation, and Jake's reputation got completely destroyed. Every crash detail gets analyzed online while the world watches AJ's survival in the Paul brothers' downfall.
Still part of the plan. I did see a few of the pictures that were circulating from it. AJ leaving the...
Johnny Nelson's thoughts are scary when you consider Jake Paul's reckless history. What started as a big boxing match between Anthony Joshua and Jake became tragedy, killing 2 innocent friends and shocking fans worldwide. Nelson reminds everyone that real people's lives are at stake behind all the show business. The Paul brothers, who seemed untouchable in YouTube hype, are now dealing with moral and legal consequences of behavior that might have caused AJ's horrible crash. Social media is exploding with anger and disbelief. Jake's reputation is crashing while Anthony Joshua comes out not just as a fighter, but as someone who survived circumstances that could have been fatal.
Sad, it just makes you realise how valuable life is and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing your life. So it was a sad thing to hear, a sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally. But you've got to think about these 2 men who were somebody's child, someone's brother, and that's what you've got to think about, those people.
Eddie Hearn's careful hope shows a huge difference from the mess around Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua walks away without physical damage, but this situation reveals how shocking the Paul brothers' recklessness really is. From hyped fights to YouTube tricks, Jake's behavior became a federal investigation and global examination. Authorities are dealing with the weird reality that the guy who boldly challenged AJ and bragged online is now facing legal trouble. His every action gets picked apart, and social media is going crazy with criticism, jokes, and theories about what really went down. Even AJ's calm reaction and survival show Jake's obvious carelessness, turning what should have been normal post-fight stuff into a huge scandal. The boxing world feels shaken and judgmental.
It doesn't look like he has any major injuries. Is true, and that would be fantastic, and obviously he'd be a very lucky boy if that was the case. But we hope that is.
Finding out that serious criminal charges might hit someone for reckless driving creates a grim situation for the Paul brothers. What used to be flashy boxing rivalry became a legal thriller crossing multiple countries. Jake Paul's supposed connection to AJ's crash and the Nigerian investigation stunned everyone, bringing up questions about carelessness, responsibility, and right versus wrong. Fans are horrified imagining what would have happened if AJ didn't survive. And social media is full of theories. Every boast, fight, and stunt from Jake now gets weighed against possible criminal investigation. This stopped being YouTube drama and became a courtroom story happening right now. The Paul brothers' arrogance met real consequences, turning public entertainment into a warning about dangerous behavior.
Image of both of them together. Now, Nigerian police sources has indicated that Adeniyi will be facing some serious felony charges for reckless driving. And I know a lot of you guys are curious, such as I, on, what would be the punishment or the penalty for reckless driving in Nigeria. So I looked it up. And if you are a reckless driver in Nigeria and you cause a fatality on a federal road.
14. Gareth Davies' view shows the risky bet both fighters made, but Jake Paul is the one getting investigated. While AJ showed skill, control, and class, Jake's reckless style completely blew up in his face. From a major fight that left him hurt to the shocking aftermath of AJ's car crash, the YouTube star's boldness now looks criminal. Fans are examining every stunt and interview, asking if Jake's ego and carelessness helped cause the terrifying incident. Anthony Joshua's professionalism and survival look completely different compared to Paul's spinning chaos, changing social media love for Jake into shock and fury. The fight that once showed spectacle now reads like a warning story. And Jake Paul became the main suspect in a story mixing sports, stunts, and legal danger.
Denzel Bentley, apparently we have Denzel's phone. I'll reach out to him to get his line, but that guy is like, he thinks Denzel Bentley's been kidnapped. He realized that's why they don't let you in the country, Derek. this kind of shit.
No, they wanted me, they said I had to get this vaccinated. Fucking yellow fever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, they're still running with this scam.
Have you done it?
They still run with this scam, yellow fever. Motherfucker, if you think there's yellow fever here, you think the British people will have to come here and take yellow fever back to London? Ain't no fucking yellow fever here. It's a fucking scam.
All right, last one. After what you saw last night,
yeah,
do you change your opinion at all about Joshua versus Fury?
The Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul story hit an unbelievable ending. AJ survived a nearly deadly car crash that stunned the world, while Jake Paul's reckless behavior and FBI investigation left him embarrassed globally. What started as flashy fighting and YouTube hype became tragedy, legal chaos, and growing public anger. Fans are split between shock and rage, analyzing every stunt, every interview, every action the Paul brothers took before this moment. AJ's calm professionalism and amazing survival only show Jake's spinning recklessness more clearly. Boxing world is buzzing. Jake's reputation is destroyed. His behavior is being questioned. And everyone wonders if he can ever come back. So, what do you think? Will Jake Paul actually face serious consequences? Or is this just another part of this crazy,